Hello, my friends. This is Pernilla Lillerose from Divine Feminine Flow, and here we are on the last day of the year, 2024. And I know this is a time where a lot of people make New Year's resolutions and are like, this year is going to be different. And there seems to be something like that at the end of each year. I can't relate to it myself because to me, every moment is new where I basically keep committing to what truly matters to me. And if there's something that, pushes me out of the way and puts me on some kind of a sidetrack, then I'm on it and I'm want to see what is happening. What is it that is pulling me away from what I truly want? And then I be with that. I work with that in a way so that I can start unhooking from that. These are all the things I have been sharing for the past almost a year now. Actually, I can't believe it. I just started out thinking, oh, let me just see it, try it out, and then it just keeps coming. It's very interesting, and of course, I hope you enjoy it and that it resonates with you. But here we are. We are ready to move into a new year. And why don't we? I don't know if this resonates, but how about moving into the new year without the attachments and the sidetracking that has kept us from moving into our new life from moment to moment? Why not step into who you truly are, which is I am, and make that your new year? Make that your new moment, day by day, moment by moment, with the intention to stay here, with the intention to do what it takes to stay connected and committed to what matters to you, not to me or anybody else. This is your life. And that's why it can only be you who can make that transition. I just had a kitty moving in. Hey, Santi. Um, it has to come from a very deep place of commitment to yourself. Nobody can do it for you. Nobody can do it for me except ourselves. And that is also where the power and the energy, the fuel comes from to actually commit to it over and over or choose it over and over and be so dedicated to it over and over. That is how we can make real changes. I know from my own experience that there are some very sticky places in all of us that don't just melt or go away if we want to move forward. It's like they come along and it can be very frustrating. What I shared the other day also is that it is us, that part that we don't want to bring along. Like, let's say you don't want to bring this part into the next year, but you can't leave it behind in 2024. I mean, how are you going to do that? It's still part of who you are. It is not separate from us. And I want to keep emphasizing that more because it is a very, very powerful realization. Here he is. This is the kitty. Do you want to say hello? I guess not. Um, because when you see it's you, there's no way you can get away from it. You cannot run away from yourself. I just remember many, many, many years ago, I woke up one morning, I think it's a Bob Marley song, that you can't run away from yourself. Remember that one? I woke up with that many years ago. I was like, okay, there's a message here. So since it's coming in here right now, you can't run away from yourself. And I know that up here, and most of the time we don't know how to bring ourselves along. And it is by integrating it, by allowing it, by whatever energetic discomfort we're experiencing, we need to simply bring ourselves into the fullness of that experience because it is already who we are. So let's say there is this part of us that we really don't like about ourselves. And let's say, you are maybe with help from somebody because it's not always easy to go into those places. But you start melting, the boundaries and the protections and the layers around it. Instead of going away from it and trying to get rid of it, you are now willing and soon able to just let yourself be the experience, the fullness of the experience, not the story. The story is a lot of the layers. That's the story. And that's the story that keeps us going away. But when we're able to just let the story just be what it is, there might be a layer or two where we need to talk about the story. That's perfectly fine. And then as we drop in deeper, we start feeling the rawness, the purity actually of that energy, trauma, pain, anger, whatever it is in there that we want to get away from. The story tells us to get away from it, but we build up the courage and the experience to be present in that experience. Then things start changing, and eventually you will realize that you are just as much in there as you are out here. It's just that you had separated yourself, pushed this part away, thinking it's not you and it shouldn't be here. And I understand that sentiment because that's how it is in the beginning. It's like, I don't want to, I'm not angry, I'm not this or that. But it is a part of us that has not been fully uh, loved back into the big love or not fully allowed back into the fold. It's not integrated yet because we don't know how to. It's innocent. There's nothing wrong or bad about it. But once we start going in there, then we can just sit there in our presence, our own presence, when we start also waking up to who we truly are. And that's why I also made that little meditation yesterday on who I am, meditation on I am. Because when you start sensing into who we truly are, who you truly are, as the I am that we speak all day long, then you have something to rest in as you actually are willing to move through the layers. It's not scary. It may be uncomfortable for sure, but you have the ground, which is already in that thing you want to get rid of that you have pushed out. So you start realizing, like, oh my God, I'm here. I am, no matter what my experience is. So the more we're able to just sit and be that I am, or just be the presence of the I am, it's an energy, it's an experience. Then this thing here that we want to get rid of, it starts softening, it starts changing, it starts giving us insights and understandings of what's going on in there, what it needs. Sometimes we need something from the outside. It could be a natural remedy, could be homeopathics, maybe some breath work. There could be very powerful ways to help soften is if we can't just stay there because it's too uncomfortable. So by all means, reach out, get help. It helps to get help. So if we can make that commitment today, that as we move into 2025, we are going to bring all of ourself along in a very loving way. The parts we want to leave behind, we might say, okay, I want to stop overeating, drinking, whatever it is. But you still need to bring that part with you that still wants that. And then we need to start unfolding what it is that this part actually wants something different than when you say, I want to stop overeating. This part says, no, 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 I want to keep overeating, right? And that's why you can't leave it behind. It has to be brought along and then be present with in a very loving way. And then this part can start to unravel. So here we are at the end of the year. Let's make it an entry into the new with every single part of us, everything that we are. Bring it along lovingly, and then let that same love that wants to be free, that wants to be, guided from within or whatever it is, let that part also find a way to help whatever it is that you wanted to leave behind. Find a way to get help. Most of us can't do it alone because we're too identified and too stuck in this part of us that we have cut off, that we have pushed away. But it's still connected to us. We may have cut off most of it, but it's still connected to our presence, to our I am presence. So if you need help with that, I always say that feel free to reach out. This is what I love to do. This is what I'm trained to do. This is what I do with myself. It's just a way of being so that we become freer and freer every day. You're also welcome to join my next online gathering. That is Tuesday, January 7th. And I'll put the link below. Excuse me. And also, I will be offering a free webinar on Wednesday, January 15th. If you want to stay connected, make sure you get on my email list, and then you will receive all the information that you need to stay connected to yourself. And whatever I can offer will be in there too. My friends, I wish you a peaceful, blessed entry into the new year. And I will see you next year.